Crypto's entire market cap just hit a brand new all-time high. I believe we just hit $4.1 trillion. $4.1 trillion is the entire cryptocurrency market cap, okay? Now, we know last week Trump signed an executive order allowing for anywhere between about $8 to $12.5 trillion of traditional financial monies, 401ks, to potentially enter the crypto market. Cryptocurrencies market, the entire market cap is $4 trillion. 401ks are between $8 and $12.5 trillion. Okay, do you guys not understand how important this is? This is crazy. We also have to talk about Ethereum because Ethereum is gearing up to make new highs. And I've talked to you guys a little bit how I feel regarding Ethereum altcoin season, how that works, etc. And yes, this does impact XRP and Ripple because RLUSD is built utilizing XRPL and Ethereum. And we talked a little bit about some of the fundamentals of XRPL. And they don't have devs. They don't have as many devs as Ethereum does. Ethereum's got like 3,000 or 4,000 devs. I think XRPL's only got like 350, something like that. So Ethereum is actually very crucial to a lot of different cryptocurrency ecosystems, but a lot of people aren't paying attention to that. Anyways, I'm WendyO. I talk everything crypto every single day. Good morning to YouTube, to TikTok, to Twitch, to Rumble. And first, we got to give a special shout out to our YouTube subscribers, or our paid subscribers, because I appreciate you guys. So good morning to Mr. D, to Mr. Dale, to Tyson. Haven't seen you in a while. Mr. R showing up every day. Gorgeous Alexandra. Sean says, yo, when you got competition today, Alexandra looking pretty. Alexander? Who's Alexander? I don't know what that is. Anyways, Alpha Moves, Mr. R, Mr. Roland, of course, Mr. Lawrence for giving me a little $5 super chat. Thank you so much for that, because today I'm going to try to wrap my work up soon so me and Lo could go to the mall and do Girls' Day. Maybe get our nails done. So all kinds of fun stuff. And good morning to Mr. Gamer. Let's go on and get in the news. And you know what I don't like? I don't like when I put out a Ethereum title, I'm not getting enough viewers coming in. You want to know why? Because nobody's even paying attention to Ethereum because no one cares. Everyone cares about XRP. I'm also going to give you guys a cute little Rare Evo recap because it's important. But again, we're talking about the cryptocurrency market cap hitting a brand new all-time high, which is outstanding, and that's good. We need these types of things to happen. It was at 4.1 trillion earlier, but it looks like it dropped a little bit. We're also going to talk a lot about liquidations, etc., all that type of stuff. So we got a high of, 4.01 trillion, which is the highest it's ever been. And now we're kind of retrading now it's kind of acting as support. Is it a support? Yeah, it's kind of acting as support. So this is amazing. This means that money is continuing to flow into the market. And this is exactly what we want. This is what we need. Why do we need this? Well, when you have liquidity and you have money coming in, the market number goes up for other different assets. My top assets are some of the top 100 currencies that are going to, or cryptos that are going to have ETFs. Those that have that trifecta, DeFi, RWAs, and AI. That type of stuff. Let's go ahead and get into Ethereum. And we're going to talk about the midnight airdrop. I was at Rare Evo. I hung out at the Hedera booth, at the Brave booth, all kinds of stuff. Okay. So Ethereum surges past $4,300 as markets await pivotal CPI data. Remember, I told you guys, I made a video for you guys at the beginning of the month, giving you all the different dates we need to pay attention to. Some people will say, well, Wendy, why are we talking about traditional financial stuff or CPI or jobs report? Because that doesn't impact crypto. Now it does. Crypto is essentially merging into traditional finance, into that ecosystem. And I think it's very, very important to note that when we get job market reports or inflation reports or GDP or any of these things, it matters. Okay. So after Fed Vice Chair Bowman backed 3 rate cuts this year, because again, it is being discussed that we're going to get 3 rate cuts and we desperately need it. I know there's a lot of people in economics are like, no, you're wrong, blah, 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 blah. But guess what? At the end of the day, when my neighbors, when my community is having trouble making ends meet, when they're having trouble for paying for shelter, food, and energy, that's problematic to me. It's not okay. We need to lower these rates. Credit card rates to borrow like 31%. To buy a home, it's like 7%, something ridiculous like that. We need to bring these student loan debt is out of control. We need to bring these rates down, okay? It doesn't need to be that high. Meanwhile, while banks have like $500 billion in unrealized losses. You know what unrealized loss is? Unrealized loss is when you're so down in a position and you haven't sold yet. You're just waiting and hoping to God or whomever, the universe, that number is going to go back up. So you know what? We are tired of seeing the big boys win. We need for the people, by the people. That's why we Bitcoin. But anyways, BlackRock's Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF saw a record outflows last week, breaking Ethereum's 21-day inflow streak. And now we're pumping again. Ethereum recovers faster than Bitcoin, aided by corporate buying. Again, we've got all of these treasuries, and we're going to talk about that. Tom Lee said buying Ethereum is the most important trade for the next 10 years. Hey, if Tom Lee is saying it, I might not agree with him all the way, but hey, I'm an Ethereum holder, so I'm going to pump my bags. I'm going to remove my emotions from the situation. I'm going to hear what these people are saying, but I'm going to listen to myself. I told you I'm still going to be selling like 90% of my Ethereum around $10,000. That may change as we get a little bit closer, but that's the plan right now. Market is focused on the U.S. July CPI. It's due August 13, which is 2 days, Wednesday, hump day. Soft print could lock in September rate cuts. Hopes. Hot print could stall the rally. Other key U.S. data this week include PPI, August 15th, industrial production and retail sales, August 16th, plus multiple Fed speeches throughout the week. Again, these are all manipulated reports, and both parties do it, but we're going to cover it. And again, when news like this hits the market, it does cause volatility, and it could cause a number to go up or number to go down. Either way, we're here to make money, and that's exactly what we're doing. Next, we have this story with Ethereum. Elevated Bitcoin and Ethereum options open interest signals cautious positioning ahead of Tuesday's CPI data. Traders are hedging with 115 to 118,000 Bitcoin puts due to elevated volatility levels heading into Tuesday's U.S. inflation data. I don't know if these are crypto traders or these are traditional finance traders, because they're very, 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 very different. Okay. Bitcoin open interest is at 43 billion. ETH options at 13.9 billion a year to high date. Institutional inflows remain strong. Now, before we talk about the Ethereum treasuries and everything, I want to show you guys the current market, because Bitcoin started sending hard last night. I made a little video for you guys right before the close, then we started sending. But that's okay. That's good. We love to see it. Love to see it. So this is Bitcoin. Going to go into a little naked chart, because we love to be naked. We're nature babies here. So far on this week, we hit a high of $122,000. Okay. Last week, or excuse me, I apologize, guys. Last week we opened at 113 and we closed at 119, and we're just kind of chilling right now. So some of these traders are anticipating price to go down. Well, what I see that we're in an uptrend, and we've been in an uptrend since, what is this date over here? 6/22/2025. You see, we got that swing wick low over here, and we're on our way up. Things are good. Shout out to Jason for the $2 super chat. Toshi, thoughts on Toshi Mart? I don't know about Toshi Mart, but I know a lot of the crypto OGs like Toshi. Some of them do, and that's a coin on base. I don't have any. I am not endorsing it either. Thank you for the super chat. So Bitcoin is in an uptrend. Things are looking good. If we do get a pullback, that 115 area does look good, but this line should hold here. Ethereum, $4,300 Ethereum. $4,300 Ethereum. We are not too far away from all-time high. Ethereum's all-time high was this area over here at about $4,800. And we're not too far away. So I'm very happy. I'm very, very excited. I cannot wait to start selling some of my Ethereum bags. Really, really can't wait. So as far as Ethereum goes, we do have support here at about $4,000, and we just kind of need to sustain above it. This is also psychological level. Solana is kind of lagging behind, but that's okay. Solana's going to do what it's going to do. I hold Solana, but Solana's a little bit lagging. SUI is also falling back below support at 378. XRP is above our trend line here, and we did get a swing wick high to $3.33, which XRP is incredibly volatile. It's super hard to trade with leverage. But if you guys do want to trade with me, I've got my Kraken link down below, and I also have my my Femex link for you degenerates. Okay. Not your keys, not your coins. So XRP is just chilling. We love this price action. Chainlink ran up nicely to $22.66 and is now trading around $21. ADA Cardano, a little bit of disappointing price action here, but we've sustained 77 cents, which is great. HBAR, little disappointing price action here too, but that's okay. We fell back below support, and we're trading within range between about 25 to 22 cents. Not a big deal. No biggie. Litecoin is so funny. The person that's running their account is absolutely iconic, and Litecoin is another one of those coins that's going to get an ETF. And Litecoin is actually in a really, really nice uptrend here. Really, really, really nice uptrend. So this is good too. So Litecoin, just as long as we stay above 114. Now let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about these treasuries and all this type of stuff. Okay. So this comes from BitMine Immersion. Tech becomes the first strategic Ethereum reserve entity to cross the $1 million Ethereum milestone. So right now we have BitMine, SharpLink, Ether Machine, and Ethereum Foundation. What does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? This means people are buying Ethereum. This means people with money are buying Ethereum. This means when people with money do something, we should pay attention to what they're doing. Do we need to copy what they do? No. But should we pay attention? Yes. Why should you pay attention? Because you're in the game to make money legally and ethically. And you do that by paying attention. Okay. So if these guys are buying, regardless of what they're doing with their Bitcoin, this is pretty good stuff. This is pretty impressive. We love it. We want to see it. Good stuff over here. Now, unfortunately, we have, we've got, my screen is just being cuckoo today. Hold on a second. Why am I doing that? Hold on. We've got quite a bit of liquidations that we're seeing happen. And if we've got this from my buddies over at Bar Chart over there saying Ethereum short, someone call an ambulance, these shorts are wrecked. So basically a bunch of people are shorting Ethereum and they're getting wrecked. They're getting wrecked. This is going to be the current liquidation map over here. Which is why I tell you guys to be really careful liquidating. So in the last hour, we had 3.5 million of ETH longs liquidated, Bitcoin 1.96. So there's a lot of traders that are showing interest in Ethereum right now. Ethereum, we had short, but that was in the last hour. We're talking about in the last 24 hours, 135 million liquidated in Ethereum. What is this telling me? That there's more interest in trading Ethereum right now than Bitcoin. It is telling me that people are buying Bitcoin. It is telling me that people are incredibly excited to get into Ethereum. That means number goes up. That means we have liquidity, because if we do not have liquidity, there's nothing to really move price. And a lot of people don't understand market cap and liquidity and how that works. So we are doing great and we are well on our way. And those of you that have been patient, you're probably going to be rewarded. Now, next story over here. I think this is a little bit more about Ethereum too. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Yikes. Big yikes. Investment firm loses $190 million after trying to short Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoins. Investment firm Abrascus Capital lost $190 million shorting Bitcoin, Ethereum, Hype, and Sui. Hype is a stupid one to short, seriously. The firm has $3.3 billion under assets under management. Biggest losses include $144 million from their ETH short position. I don't know who the hell these people are, but if they're in crypto, why are you shorting Ethereum right now? Unless you are doing like you're scalping. Why? That's why I'm doing a lot less trading this cycle and really just kind of like sitting on my hands, because there's literally no point. Why do I want to get wrecked? Why? Yeah, the full moons, there's actually an indicator for the full moons. I don't really use it. I'm not really doing too much trading. I'm just kind of holding. Yeah, I'm not shorting anything right now. I'm sitting on my hands, bro. Now we have this post from Mr. Eric Voorhees over here, okay? So Look on Chain said Eric Voorhees early Bitcoin ambler sold the Ethereum. Eric clapped back and said, "Isn't me." And the interesting thing about this is that it has been rumored that that Arkham and some of these other these on-chain analytic people, that they're wrong. That they're pulling wrong stuff. They're pulling wrong data, which isn't good. So the fact that they're sitting here and they're saying that Mr. Eric Voorhees, and Eric's a friend of the channel. He was on the channel years and years ago, back in 2018, I believe. I interviewed him live. Wonderful guy, wonderful team, just wonderful people. But the fact that they're just like out here, like just saying dumb stuff, like talking out the side of their neck and not knowing for sure if it's him or not. I don't know, man. Kind of crazy to me. Kind of crazy business to me. But what can you do? So we'll see. But, that's why I don't mess with too many on-chain analytics, because it's a lot. That is a speed bag. Now, look, it looks like Arthur Hayes had to buy back in. Arthur Hayes called the bottom and called the local top. He said, had to buy it back. Do you forgive me, Fundstrat? I pinky swear I'll never take profit again, because it looks like Arthur Hayes actually sold a bunch of Ethereum. This is way back on August 1st. So Arthur Hayes went ahead and went back in. This is the thing. When we're talking about these people with a lot of capital that are in and out of trades, you're going to need to pay attention to Alpha Gamer. and Mr. Gamer, because he's somebody that's actually in and out of trades because he's an active trader. So these people, like some people like Gamer and Arthur Hayes and whomever else, like Trader SZ, Crypto Phase, they're in and out of trades. So of course they're going to sell when they find a top, and then they're going to buy back in. So that's exactly what they're doing. You probably are not ready to do what they're doing, and that's okay. Just chill. Okay. Also, too, CryptoFace has his market cipher indicator. Absolutely amazing. Go watch this guy's live streams. He is an absolute beast. Beast. So it looks like Arthur Hayes is going to be buying back in. And we got a little bit of an update over here. So, how Ripple's years-long SEC lawsuit comes to an end affects or doesn't the XRP ETF race. So, we know that the XRP lawsuit is over with. I reported to you guys literally instantly once I knew. Like, I was at the airport and I got on and I posted everywhere for you guys. All right. So, the SEC, they're going to withdraw their appeal as well. There's no more lawsuit. It's done. Ripple can do business. Ripple could do business as usual in the United States of America, which is absolutely amazing. Okay. Absolutely amazing. And the good thing that Ripple did do, and why we'll always have respect for Ripple, always, is that XRP is not a security on the secondary market. That is now case law, and that does impact everything. Okay. Now, because of this lawsuit, it was heavily speculated that BlackRock was going to file for an XRP ETF. BlackRock came out, and their spokesperson said the firm has no plans for a Solana or XRP ETF. Hey, Squeeze. You guys, Squeeze is here. He's a really, really, really sweet and good friend of mine. Wonderful guy. Probably like one of the nicest people in the industry. And I just adore him. He's just such a sweetheart. And I've met him in person. Wonderful man, wonderful human being. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Squeezy. Anyways. With the BlackRock and the Solana, XRP and Solana, basically BlackRock came out and said, no, we're not going to go ahead. And I am putting you on blast. I am putting you on blast. You do send me your trades. Hey, Alpha Junkies. Listen, this is the thing. This is one of the things. I'm going to get in this story, but this is what you guys need to understand about me, okay? I like to brag about my friends. If you're somebody I consider a friend, I like to brag about you because it's just so cool, because I get to be happy for you that you're succeeding and winning. So why wouldn't I want to brag about you? Why wouldn't I want to tell people like all the cool things that you've achieved and accomplished? Why not? It's a really good feeling to be able to like congratulate someone and to be happy for them and to just be like, you're a freaking dope person. You should be proud of yourself, because sometimes people don't get encouragement at home, or they might be feeling sad or something. I don't know, but it's just a nice thing to do. It's a nice thing when somebody says, I'm proud of you. I think you're awesome. So I like to tell my friends that they're awesome, and I like to shout them out. Why not? Maryville was fun. It was fun. I'll get there in a minute. Okay, so back to this story over here. Listen, BlackRock is going to file for the Solana and the XRP ETFs. They're going to file for all of them. They're going to be waiting though, right? Right now, we're in this really weird regulatory stage with the SEC and the CFTC, the Clarity, the Genius, all these things, whatever. Okay, you have to understand that that building a solid foundation, especially when we're talking regulatory stuff, is important. Think of it this way: if you're like, well, they just approved this, so why isn't this happening? By the way, Wendy Lowe got into Labubus yet? She got 3. She won't let me use one of them. She won't let me use one of her Labubu. No, she took it with her. She's hiding them from me, from mommy. She got a cute pink one. Someone got it for her. I need one. Need a Labubu. Anyways, I don't need anything. I'm blessed. I've got everything I need. Actually going to have steak after this for breakfast. I'm a bit hungry. Okay. So we have all this regulatory crap, and everybody's always like, why is that number going up? Well, number's not going up because it takes a really long time when you have regulatory stuff, because you have to understand it is incredibly hard to pass a law, but it's next to impossible to revise it. So they want to make sure that when they do it right the first time. Because this administration kind of seems to care about taxpayer dollars and all that crap, right? Kind of. Yeah. So let's hope that that's the case, and let's hope that's what's happening. But if you're somebody that's confused about why it's taking so long to happen, think about if you were to build a house from the ground up, how many permits you would need and all the different things you need to do. It takes time. So be patient. It's coming. I do think we will see a BlackRock XRP spot ETF. and Solana, and with a lot of the other crypto ones. But remember, there's a lot of other applicants. I think there's like 8 or 9 different applicants right now. Okay. Analysts are currently split on whether the lawsuit changes the ETF prospects. ProShares, 21 Shares, Canary, Bitwise have filed for XRP ETFs, and Bloomberg analysts give odds of 90% odds of spot XRP ETF approval by year end. I need to really pull up Polymarket, because Polymarket is really, 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 really good at that. They put a lot of news up. Gamer says, oh, that makes sense because the pink one is the favorite of Jenny. Dude, so just really quick, you guys, when Gamer and I, when we took the kids and we went to go see Blackpink, like I watched a little bit of Blackpink stuff, but I didn't realize how good performers they were live in their outfits, and they were just like super hot. But this is my outfit fit for the day. So this is from the thrift store. This is fake. I bought it though because it's like good for sensitive skin, but it's got my logo O because I thought it was cute and rose gold. And then these are just like mom shorts from Old Navy. They're like linen or whatever because I wanted to be comfortable today. But I'm going to end up changing because Lo and I are going to go to the mall later. And you know I'm going to be getting her a pretzel. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I slept like 13 hours yesterday. So tired. so tired. And I think a lot of it too, one of the things, because I did tell you guys that I do have lupus. One of the things that's been helping me is like sleeping a little bit extra, like little naps. That's been helping control the lupus. And I do need to see a dietitian. But anyways, let's go ahead and get back into it and finish the show because we got some more stuff. So I think we're going to get crypto spot ETFs. XRP is going to get one. Just be patient. Okay. Q4 is right around the corner. Okay. So hold on to your thingies. All right. We talked about that. Oh, this is no, we kind of covered it. Okay. So apparently Trump affiliated World Liberty Finance seeking $1.5 billion for World Liberty Finance Treasury reports. Okay. Now, let me go ahead and read this to you because this is important. So they're seeking $1.5 billion to create a publicly traded treasury company holding WLFI. This is kind of weird, but whatever. Project already holds 55 million Ethereum, 19 million wrapped Bitcoin, 14 million Tron, plus EOS, Mantle, Ondo, and more. The boards, including Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr. Dude, this is the weirdest like portfolio ever. I don't like it. I don't like it. Why are we holding EOS? Why are we holding Mantle? Ondo, yeah. Ethereum, yeah. Wrapped Bitcoin, I would just get the regular Bitcoin. Tron, I can understand them doing Tron just because they probably have some sort of relationship with Justin Sun, but I don't like that portfolio. Anyways, Chainlink. You guys know that I'm bullish as AF on Chainlink. NYSE parent ICE taps Chainlink to bring Forex, precious metals, and datas on chain. What is bringing something on chain? What's bringing something on chain? I did get tested for parasites, but they said I don't have any. So if you can actually, Line Phantom, if you can actually, Madrid's hot. Oof, I don't want to be in Spain then. If you can send me information on where I can get tests, I'm more than happy. Because like I tested positive for lupus, but negative with autoimmune stuff. So that doesn't make sense. But anyways, Chainlink is one of the projects I love. I love to hold it. But when we talk about like putting stuff on chain, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? RWAs, tokenization. So that's why we love projects that focus on RWAs and tokenization, because we want to see things be put on chain. And also a lot of crypto stuff and tokenization does not work without Link because it offers oracles and the CCIP technology. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. So ICE, ICE, different ICE, is NYSE's parent company. And Chainlink partnered with them. It stands for Intercontinental Exchange. The integration brings Forex and precious metal data from ICE consolidated feed on-chain via Chainlink data streams. ICE feed aggregates market data from over 300 global exchanges and marketplaces. Chainlink data streams support over 200 dApps in major financial institutions. Partnership advances integration of traditional market infrastructure into blockchain. And Chainlink sees as a step forward, towards unified global on-chain financial systems and tokenizations of trillions in assets. Oop. I like heavy metal. Bang your head. Mental health will drive you mad. Bang your head. I'm not a good singer. Anyways. Now, since we're on the topic of like interoperability and tokenization and yourdad.com. BitGo, and Midnight. Okay. BitGo is integrating native support for Midnight Network, enabling institutional access to privacy-focused smart contracts. We're also supporting night claims during the Glacier drop directly through our platform. Together, we're advancing privacy and real-world utility in Web3. We just kind of talked about tokenization a little bit, okay? And now we're slightly segueing into interoperability. That's exactly what Midnight is doing. Midnight is bringing more interoperability into the space. Interoperability is basically when you're able to, when two different chains that are created very, very differently with different code are able to properly communicate and speak to each other. And Midnight is like a privacy side chain thingy, cute little thingy for Cardano. And if you're holding specific coins, which I've talked to you guys about it, ADA, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, BNB, Avalanche, BAT will receive Night. BAT is Brave, basic attention token. If you use the browser, the privacy browser, you get the airdrop. Okay. But the reason why this is so important is because we're talking about tokenization of everything, okay? If you want to tokenize everything, that doesn't work unless things are interoperable. And if you don't have interoperability, and if your programs can't communicate to each other, it's basically just like the regular traditional financial system, you know? And in addition to that, like, if you want to onboard people into crypto and actually use what you're creating, you need interoperability. And that's kind of what Night is doing. But the thing that I love, and like we've talked about the Midnight thing here and there, okay? But what I love and what legitimizes this for me so much more is BitGo. Because BitGo is integrating native support for Midnight Network, allowing for institutional access to privacy-focused smart contracts. So BitGo is a massive, like, they do a lot of really cool things behind the scenes, okay? They basically do a lot of custody and all different types of things for digital assets, and they do it in an extremely secure way. They are very much like, they operate like a TradFi company, but they're crypto native, and they understand the mission. They understand how important it is for security and for privacy, but also at the same time being compliant, all right? And I love the fact that they're working with Midnight on this, because Midnight is a privacy, it's privacy. So again, BitGo, in my personal opinion, is going to be like the main shop for custody on different types of levels for different types of entities and maybe people one day. That's my prediction for them. But absolutely love this partnership over here, and the fact that they're allowing for institutional access for a privacy crypto on Cardano. That says a lot. Okay, that says a lot. And now, while we're talking about interoperability and RWAs and tokenization and all these things. This is a little recap from me at the Hedera booth. I want you guys to hear it because it was fun. And I was able to sit down with Mr. HBAR Bull. Super great guy. Love Hedera. Love the foundation. You guys know we're partnered with them. Yes, BitGo is a custody thing.
All right. So look who came by the Hedera booth. We have WendyO. Wendy, we're going to make this real quick because I know you're going to be getting out of here. But what do you think of Rare Evo and the Hedera booth this year?
So first off, I think that the Hedera booth is a great addition to Rare Evo this year. I love the fact that Rare Evo is kind of really expanding out of the Cardano ecosystem. It makes me really happy because I personally think that the future of crypto is interoperability. People like myself, especially non-tech savvy people, we don't want to have to go between all these different chains to do something. We just want something that works. So I love that Hedera has presence at Rare Evo because it was a Cardano-focused conference, but now we got all these different chains. And I also love that Hedera is able to make things super easy for people to get onboarded, and guys really just got that whole interoperability thing and do incorporate the new trifecta, AI, DeFi, and RWAs.
It's amazing. And Charles, when he had his speech up there, that's what he was talking about. And of course, they're proving it out with things like DREC, working together. We're just seeing great things. But Wendy, I know, again, you have to run here, but thanks for swinging by here. And thanks for supporting Hedera.
So I just wanted to share you guys a little clippy that we did over at Rare Evo. It's a really good conference, and if you guys can make it next year, I highly recommend you go. Also, too, as far as Hedera goes, ETH Global New York is kicking off on August 15th, and they're offering $10,000 in prizes. So if this is something that you're interested in, and you want to attend ETH Global New York, I highly recommend it. They're giving away money. Also, too, Hedera Foundation has a really cool. They have grants and different things. So if you're somebody who wants to build, maybe consider checking that out, Also, shout out to my girl, Blonde Broker. Love her so much. But that was like the conference was, it was super fun. Like, so I hung out like, I always hang out with Altcoin Daily and Tina. They're my buddies. And then like we generally will meet up like with Tiffany Fong. We saw Ashley Decant, like everybody. And then of course Miss Blonde Broker won as well. Elijah Wood was DJing at or Bloom or Elijah, whatever the heck his name is. Frodo was DJing at one of the clubs. It was super fun. But then, yeah, so it was fun. Go next year. Also too, I guess we'll cover this really quickly. Bitcoin closed above 100,000 every day since the 8th of May. That's 95 daily closes above 100,000. That's dope. Also, these are the top 100 Bitcoin treasury companies that hold almost 1 million Bitcoin, or that hold all combined together, they hold almost 1 million Bitcoin. This is a really interesting stat here. So what would I do if I was you? What would I do if I was you? I would probably get this list and I would probably like see who's holding a lot of Bitcoin. And then if you wanted to potentially invest in some of these companies, I might consider that. I would use this as a starting point. If you're somebody who wants to invest in Bitcoin companies, that's what I would do. Is Hedera good? I think that they're great. But you do have to do your own due diligence with stuff. Also, El Salvador, Bitcoin investment banks coming to El Salvador. We love Mr. Bukali. And then this story broke yesterday. Serving President Bo Hines resigned. He resigned. He's stepping down as executive director of White House Crypto Council, will return to the private sector, but remain a special government employee to help with AI initiatives with David Sachs. Patrick Witt Hines, deputy, expected to take over the role. And Witt is a former Pentagon tech official. Why do you think that he's stepping down? Two things. Hold on, Alpha Moves. I'll get to that. They have a phone. I have a phone number, I believe. I've never had problems with Kraken, but I believe they have a phone number. Why did Bo Hines step down? Well, we know Trump is very difficult, so that could be one of the reasons. Also, maybe he stepped down because he wants to make money and he can't really invest in crypto transparently the way he wants to. Who knows? Or maybe he's going to start his own treasury company. We don't know. Gamer said he resigned because he found out he can make more money in the private sector. Could. Very well could be. Either way, that's the show. I gotta go. I gotta eat. I'm starting to get tired. Sending you guys love and light. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe, set alerts. Yourmom.com. I got a video coming out for your 2 p.m. PT and then an entire news wrap up at 6 p.m. PT. Bye. No XRP ETFs yet. They're coming. You gotta be patient. Be patient. You were the guy with the mustache at Rare Evo. Well, it was a pleasure to meet you. Bye, babies.